Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Today, we're going to be going over the ultimate guide to 2022 March Madness, how to pick the perfect bracket, and it's time. The brackets have been announced. We're going to go through every team in the field, starting with the automatic bids and going through to the at-largest, starting with Murray State, who is the hottest team in the NCAA, 27th in KenPom with the 36th best offense, and you look at them in the net, they're 23 where they are 2-1 in Quad 1. Those are the two major ranking metrics we're going to use. And Murray State, currently projected as a 9 seed, the OVC Conference champs. They're coming in as one of the hottest teams in college basketball right now. Next up, we got Longwood, who is 139th in KenPom with the 110th best offense, 193rd best defense. Nothing too special. I don't feel like, not even top 100 in either of those things. 135th in the net, 0-1 in Quad 1. However, currently they are a 14 seed and have won 19 of their last 20, so they could be a dangerous team, currently projected to play Villanova. Next up, we have the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, who are a pretty good mid-major. 25th in the net with a 2-2 Quad 1 record. They are currently projected as a 10 seed after winning their conference championship. Looking at them in the KenPom, they are 24th, 47th in the offensive section, and 23rd in defense. So a very, very respectable team. Definitely a dangerous team as a 10 seed. And, there's a dangerous team being the fact that they're Loyola Chicago and it is March. Next up, we have Georgia State Sun Belt Conference champs, 168th in the net, 0-1 in Quad 1. A bit of a surprise that they went out and won their conference championship. I believe they were the number 3 seed in their conference tournament. 148th in the KenPom, 207th offense, 114th defense. Currently projected as a 15 seed. I don't like me Georgia State too much. Next up, we got Chattanooga. David Jean-Baptiste pulling off some magic. They are 61st in the net, 1-2 in Quad 1, and a pretty respectable team. Currently projected as a 13 seed. They could definitely make some magic in March. 68th best team in KenPom, 59th offense, 90th defense. So as a mid-major, those are good numbers in KenPom. Next up, we have Jacksonville State, who somehow won the A-Sun due to the fact that Bellarmine is not tournament eligible due to the transition phase, which is kind of bullcrap. 139th in the net, 0-2 in Quad 1. In KenPom, they are 143rd with the 130th best offense and the 173rd best defense. Currently projected as a 15. Speaking of teams projected as 15th, we have Delaware, who right now is ranked 163rd or 136th, in the net, 0-1 in Quad 1. You look at them in the KenPom, they're 144th. You have a top 100 offense, which is noteworthy, but 219th defense. And yeah, I'm not buying too much Delaware stock, especially if they're a projected 15 seed. I believe we've seen all the 215 upsets we're going to see for a while. Next up, we have Wright State, who does hold the honor of beating the NC State Wolfpack this year. Of course, that's my favorite team. They are absolutely terrible. 193rd in the net, 181st in KenPom, 117th offense, 257th defense. Not that great of a team. They're currently projected as a first 4 in team. The team they're projected to play right now, Bryant, 202nd in the net, 0-1 in Quad 1. But Peter Kiss is that dude. I believe he's the nation's leading scorer. Last time we saw a team with the nation's leading scorer, they went on a Sweet 16 run as a 15 seed. They are 185th in KenPom, the 154th best offense and the 221st best defense. Bryant, projected 16 seed, not too big of an issue when you're looking at a number 1 seed beating them. Now, this is a team that could cause some trouble. The South Dakota State Jackrabbits, 64th in the net, 0-2 in Quad 1. But boy, when you talk about a team that can absolutely outscore anybody, it's these cats. 70th in the KenPom, and it's because they have the number 11 offense. 223rd defense. They don't particularly play defense, but if they get into a shootout, they are dangerous. Next up, we have Gonzaga, the number 1 overall seed. They're first in the net with a 10-3 Quad 1 record. They make everybody else look like a JV team, to be honest, at least in the numbers. KenPom, they are first, second in offense, 7th in defense. They are beatable. But I feel like that's a major advantage this team has compared to last year's. They aren't undefeated. So I actually have a lot of faith in Gonzaga this year. Colgate, 127th in the net, 0-2 in quad one. Not that great. Beat Navy last night, or beat Navy a couple nights ago to win their conference championship. They are 119th in the KenPom, 81st offense, 202nd defense. Right now projected as a 14 seed, so maybe the Fighting Toothpaste can make some noise. So now we're going to go on a bit of a mid-major run here, starting out with the Baylor Bears, who are 5th in the net, 10-5 in quad one. Now this Baylor team is not as good as last year's Baylor team. Of course, losing Davion Mitchell, Jared Butler, and Maceo Teague, that really hurts. But they're still a really respectable team. Going to be in between the 1 and 2 line. 4th in the KenPom, 9th offense, 15th defense. And another good year for the Bears. Of course, they do have some injury trouble, but hopefully that they can come into the tournament healthy. Now, we have Auburn, who is 12th on the net and 8-4 in quad one. Took a tough loss to Texas A&M to get bounced out of the SEC tournament. Almost came back, though. They are 10th in the KenPom, 24th offense, 8th defense. Between Jabari Smith Jr. and Walker Kessler, it's tough to get shots off on them. And then they've just got so much lob potential. If Katie Johnson can do any better than 0 for 14, they're looking pretty good. Now we got Arizona out of the Pac-12, the champs of the Pac-12, 2nd in the net, and that includes 5-3 in quad one. You look at them in the KenPom, they are 3rd, 7th in the offensive category, 17th in defense, and this is a really, really strong team. Both the KenPom and the net really like them. Benedict Mathurin and company, they're going to be tough to stop. Christian Coloco, they're going to be really tough to stop. Another team that's going to be tough to stop, the Big 12 champs, Kansas. 7th in the net with an 11-5 quad one record. Ochai Agbaji, David McCormick, Christian Brown, and company. They got some dogs on that team. And they are 6th in the KenPom with the 6th offense and the 30th defense. They're going to be tough to stop. Bill Self, one of the best coaches in the business. They're going to be really tough to stop. Now we got Duke, who lost last night to Virginia Tech, which makes them 6-2 in quad one, where they're 11th in the net. And what worries me about Duke, they have not really been able to play much defense lately. They can't guard a back cut. They're 9th in the KenPom with the 5th offense and the 38th defense. But lately, when they've needed stops, the Carolina game, the Virginia Tech game, when they've needed stops, they have not been able to come up with any. And that's very concerning for me going into March Madness. Also, a small rotation for them. You saw guys getting into foul trouble, and it didn't look too good for them last night. Next up, we got Purdue, 13th in the KenPom with a 7-5 quad one record, or 13th in the net, 14th in the KenPom, second overall offense, but that defense is really, really scary. 101st overall, not something I like to see out of teams that I'm picking to go far. So Purdue, not going to be going too far in my bracket, I don't think. Next up, we got Kentucky, coming off a tough loss to Tennessee. They are 4th in the net with a 9-6 quad one record. Big fan of the Wildcats this year. 2nd in the KenPom. KenPom is apparently too. 4th offense, 27th defense. John Calipari's got his guys playing really well. Hopefully they're getting healthy between Xavier Wheeler and Tata Washington coming into the tournament. But the team they just lost to, in the Tennessee Volunteers, come in at 8th in the net, 9-7 in quad one. And man, can they play some defense. Their only struggles are playing on the road. 11th in the KenPom with a 36th offense, and like I said, the number 3 defense, they will lock you up. They can play their pace of game anytime they want to, and that's something I really like about teams going into March. Another team that will really lock you up, Texas Tech, 9th in the net with an 8-8 quad one record. They have been slipping a bit, though, lately. This was a team that I was really high on, Final Four high on, a couple of weeks ago, but they took a couple of bad losses. They're 8th in the KenPom now. Barely a top 60 offense. That is concerning. But if they get into a defensive battle, they're the best in the business at it. You can't really beat them. That's what they do. Now we got Villanova, who is 6th in the net with an 8-6 quad one record. The champions of the Big East, looking to make another March Madness run. They are pretty dang good this year. 12th in the KenPom, 8th offense, 34th defense. But Jay Wright's got his guys playing very well. Colin Gillespie's been there a million times before. He's about a 10th year senior. He'll come ready to play. I think Villanova should have a pretty nice run. A team that I'm not too high on, the Wisconsin Badgers, 25th in the net with an 8-3 quad one record, and man, they just lost to Nebraska, and then they lost to who else did they lose to? They lose to Nebraska and Michigan State to knock them off the 2 line. They're down to a 3 now, 34th in the KenPom with the 51st offense, 34th defense. And I don't know how far Johnny Davis can take this Badgers team. Now we got the Bruins of UCLA, who almost won themselves a Pac-12 championship last night. 10th in the net this year with a 5-3 quad one record. One of the stronger teams in both the net and the KenPom to be a 3-4 seed. 7th in the KenPom, 15th offense, 11th defense. So they can do both. A top 15 team in both. Something you really like to see. So maybe the Bruins can make another magical run. I'm not saying Final Four, but it should be another good year for UCLA. Illinois, 15th in the net with a 6-6 quad one record, but they have gotten cold down the stretch. It was a bit of a roller coaster season for them. Started off low, then went high, and then back down low again. 18th in the KenPom, 22nd offense, 29th defense, as they take an L in the Big 12 or Big 10 tournament to Indiana to end their regular season. Next up, we've got Arkansas, who's 20th in the net with a 7-5 quad one record, but they did get steamrolled by the SEC powerhouse that is Texas A&M, and we're going to be talking about them later and probably going to be making a couple of videos about them because they are hotter than fish grease. But right now, Arkansas is 16th in the KenPom with the 35th best offense and the 14th best defense. That offense really struggles, though, whenever JT Notte is not on the court. We saw him get in foul trouble the other day against Texas A&M, and it was not good. 33rd in the net, 5-3 in quad one, and that is the Friars of Providence. They've had a really, really good season, historic season in terms of Providence University, but I'm not too high on them. Neither is the KenPom, 47th. They're a 4 seed, guys, 47th in the KenPom. That's unheard of. Number 1 in luck. That's the big stat that everybody's talking about for Providence. They've won like 15 games by 5 or less points. When does luck run out? March. Now we got Texas, who is 16th in the KenPom, or in the net, excuse me. They just had 10-5 in quad one. That's a really good quad one record. Never mind, I read it wrong. They got a terrible quad one record at 5-10. 15th in the KenPom, 33rd offense, 13th defense. I don't know about Texas. They're an interesting team. A lot of highs and lows. We'll see how far Chris Beard can take them because he does have experience in the tournament. Next up, UConn, 17th in the net with a 5-6 quad one record. I don't know what I think about this UConn team because on paper they look really good, and they've even looked really good in some games, almost beating Villanova the other night. 19th in the KenPom, 21st offense, 32nd defense, but then they'll get swept by Marquette, and you're like, what in the world? Or somebody like that. It's, I don't know, a very confusing UConn team, but I'll probably have them to the Sweet 16. Now we have Houston, the anomaly that is Houston, who is 3rd in the net. However, they have a 1-4 quad one record. Doesn't make sense. Playing Memphis today for the American Championship, so maybe they can get another quad one win there. But they're 5th in the KenPom with the 12th offense and the 12th defense, so top 12 in both. Cougars could be making another run this year. You never know, but I don't like them too much. I believe they're a 4 or 5 right now. Iowa, 14th in the net with a 2-6 quad one record, another anomaly. I don't really understand the net. If you can't beat the best teams, how are you so hot? But it is what it is. They've got an insane offense, 13th offense, or 3rd offense, 84th defense. So the Murray brothers, they're good. Jordan Bohannon. It's going to be a tough team to beat, no doubt. But it's going to be really hard to beat them in a shootout. You better just lock them up. Next up, we got St. Mary's, who is 19th in the net with a 4-7 quad one record. I was actually kind of surprised that they got 11 quad one games in this year. But they did beat Gonzaga recently, and that has shot them up the seeding line. I believe they're either a 5 or a 6 right now. 17th in the KenPom, 9th defense, that's something you really highlight. 64th offense, so they can't score that well, but the 9th best defense. Really good defensive team. Now, we've got Alabama, who talk about inconsistent. Oh, man. I don't even know what to make of them. 28th in the net with an 8-8 quad one record. And then they're 24th in the KenPom. 14th offense, don't really care too much about defense. And they've gotten a little cold here recently. So not a team that I'd really take too far. But, maybe they can make me my words. I don't Boise State, Mountain West Conference champs, 29th in the net, 5-3 in quad one. And you look at them in the KenPom, they are 28th. 75th offense. Everybody in the Mountain West just clamps up, it feels like. 19th defense. And they're coming into March pretty hot off of a conference tournament championship. Usually those teams tend to fare well. I believe they're around the 6th seed line. Very interesting team here in LSU. 18th in the net, 6-9 in quad one. Have battled injuries, and now their coach has been fired. So we don't really see this often. A team that's never been coached by the coach that will lead them into March Madness. Don't really know what to make of it. 20th in the KenPom, 88th offense, 5th best defense. And it's odd for a team. I mean, I know he cheated and everything, but thought maybe they'd hold on to him at least through the season. Next up, we got USC, who is 35th in the net, 4-4 in quad one. And this is a team that I don't even think they have an AP top 25 win. 41st in the KenPom, 48th offense, 49th defense, so just barely top 50 in both categories, and I'm not too high on the Trojans. They run into a tough 11 seed in round one. Wouldn't be surprised to see them getting bounced. Next up, we got Michigan State, who's 36th in the net, 5-8 in quad one. It feels kind of like the rest of the Big Ten. For Michigan State to be a 6th seed or a 7th seed, feels pretty overrated. Maybe not necessarily Michigan State, but some of the other Big Ten teams to be that high. Whew. 39th in the KenPom, 41st offense, 53rd defense. Michigan State. I mean, they got Tom Izzo, so that definitely helps them. But I don't like them too much. Colorado State University, the next team up, 27th in the net with a 5-3 quad one ranking, and they're pretty dang good. Started out the season ranked and then kind of fell down a little bit, but they got the 19th offense, so apparently everybody in the Mountain West doesn't play defense, but 83rd defense. But David Roddy and company coming into March Madness, to have a player like that really helps you out. You need that alpha on your team. So Colorado State, they could definitely make a run. A team that I do not expect to make a run at all is Ohio State, who has really slipped lately. 26th in the net, 5-5 in quad one. In KenPom, they're 32nd, 13th offense. Don't really care too much about defense. And they're at 131st. And yeah, like I said, a team that has really slipped these past few weeks. I'm not really taking Ohio State to go anywhere in my bracket. Next up, we got TCU, who is 44th, 7-8 in quad one. And this is a very underrated team. 7-8 in quad one. Out of the Big 12, that's not bad. 37th in the KenPom, 82nd offense, 24th defense. TCU is a very intriguing team. Mike Miles and company, a guy that can really score the basketball. They're definitely a team to watch, a sleeper team to watch. Next up, we have the Memphis Tigers, who one of the hottest teams in college basketball right now. Jalen Duren playing like a lottery pick, playing like a top 5 pick. You look at him in the net, 31st with a 4-3 quad one record. In the KenPom, they're 26th with a 40th best offense and the 36th best defense. And they've got a chance to win the American today, going up against Houston. Honestly, I'd rather them lose so I can have some, 9 seeds that maybe can make a run. Speaking of a 9 seed that will not be making a run, Carolina, 32nd in the net, 3-8 in quad one. But in all seriousness, this is a team that can beat anybody. If they get hot, they can beat anybody. But they're also a team that could be a 1 seed and lose to a 16 if they get cold. 29th in the KenPom, 27th offense, 65th defense. And this is, I don't know. Hubert Davis, his first March Madness as head coach. I don't know. It's a really confusing Carolina team that he brings to the table in year one. Marquette, 41st in the net, 5-7 in quad one. A team that was really hot about a month ago, but they've seemed to have cooled off. 45th in the KenPom, 65th offense, 46th defense. But Shaka Smart does know how to win in March. Well, not last year with Texas. I mean, come on. I had them in the national championship, and they lose in the first round. Or not the national championship, but I had them playing Gonzaga in the Final Four. They lose in the first round. Not going to be rocking with Shaka Smart this year, I can tell you that. Seton Hall, 37th in the net, 6-7 in quad one. 36th in KenPom with a 76th offense and the 26th defense. Another Big East team. Feels like them, Marquette. I'm kind of overrated. Maybe not, though. As a 9 seed, that's probably fairly rated. I don't know if I'm picking them to win any games, though. Next up is San Diego State. 22nd in the net, 5-7 in quad one. And in the Ken Palm, they are 22nd. They don't really know how to put the ball in the basket, which is the whole goal of the game, so that's unfortunate. But they can keep you from putting the ball in the basket. Second, in defense in Ken Palm. 149th in offense, though. Creighton, 55th, 7-5 in Quad 1, and this is a team that's getting hot. They made a run in the Big East tournament, almost won it, I believe, after destroying Providence the other night. 55th in the Ken Palm, 109th offense, but the 21st defense. You saw that when they held Providence to 58 points. Didn't look like they had an offense in the hundreds, though. They put up 85 on them. Now, we're going to go back to some mid-major, some conference champions from last night. Akron, first off, they are 127th in the net, 0-2 in Quad 1. You look at them in Ken Palm, not great. No, they have nothing in the top 100. Usually when you're looking for a Cinderella, they have something in the top 100. 130th, 131st overall in Ken Palm, not great. Now we've got Montana State, who I believe won the Big Sky Championship last night. They are also 0-2 in Quad 1, but they are 120th in the net. You look at them. In the Ken Palm, 125th, another team that isn't even in the top 100 in terms of offense or defense. 125th overall in Ken Palm, 147th offense, 129th defense. Not really a team that I'm picking to go on any sort of Cinderella run. Norfolk State, a team that always, it feels like, is in the first 4 games. 156th in the net, 0-1 in Quad 1, but winning the conference championship, getting that automatic bid. 168th in the Ken Palm, 190th in offense, 169th in defense. Another team, not even top 150 in anything, so I don't know. It's not really a team that I'm picking. Now, St. Peter's, this is an interesting team, right? They're 124th in the net, 0-3 in Quad 1. So that's not too interesting. I believe they beat Monmouth last night. I'm not really too sure how to pronounce it, but they do have a top 35 defense. 118th in the Ken Palm. Their offense is just atrocious, but 34th in the defense. That is a team that could, if they get the right matchup, maybe make some noise as a 14 seed. Next up, we got Texas Southern, who somehow lost to NC State this year, I believe. 130th in the net, 0-3 in Quad 1. Man, honestly, I don't think they deserve to be in the tournament if you lose to NC State. That should just be an automatic disqualification, just due to the fact that we are possibly the worst team in the NCAA. But 188th for Texas Southern, 270th offense, 105th defense. Not really a Cinderella squad there. Now, this could be a team. Last time we saw a team with a guy that can score it this well, UAB, 46th in the net, 2-1 in Quad 1. They just won the CUSA. They've got a chance. I'm just saying. 45th in the Ken Palm, 28th offense, 88th defense. And Jordan Miller, I believe is his name, can flat out score the rock. Virginia Tech is another team, one of the hottest teams in college basketball. Them and Texas A&M and Memphis. 3 of the hottest teams in college basketball. 27th in the net, 3-5 in Quad 1. But Virginia Tech, coming off of an ACC tournament championship last night, they're 23rd in the Ken Palm. And, man, they can score the ball. If Hunter Couture hits 7 threes, they're beating anybody. 18th offense, 55th defense, and Couture hitting 7 threes going into March Madness. That's kind of scary, to be honest, because he'd only scored 18 points in his other 2 games in the ACC tournament. Now we've got Vermont, who is 52nd in the net, but only 0-1 in Quad 1. Not sure how you can be that high. However, they are good in the Ken Palm, 59th, 45th offense, 74th defense. So this is a team that, just looking off the Ken Palm numbers, could be a dangerous team, possibly a team to watch heading into the tournament. Maybe they get like a 14 seed. You got to watch those 14s this year. I don't think we had any 3-14 upsets last year. So probably going to be some this year. Next up, we got Texas A&M Corpus Christi, I believe is how you pronounce it, who is way down there in the net, 0-1 in Quad 1, 243rd in Ken Palm with the 287th offense and the 181st defense. Not really that inspiring when you look at the numbers. Now we got CSU Fullerton, 153rd in Quad 1, 0-2 in the net, so not that great. You look at them in Ken Palm, they're 148th 144th offense, 164th defense. So another one of those teams that I'm not really too high on because they're not even top 100 in either KenPom category. Now, a team that is top 100 in some KenPom categories is New Mexico State University, a team that seems like they're always a sleeper, and they're 79th in Quad 1, or 79th in the net, 2-0 in Quad 1. A team that's undefeated in Quad 1 coming in, that's interesting, 80th in KenPom, 87 offense, 73 defense. So they're not really elite at anything, but they're good enough to get to March, and definitely a team that could be making some noise. Now we've reached the bubble, and unfortunately, my mom was making me go to a youth group tonight in the middle of Selection Sunday, so I will not be here to watch the selection show. So I went ahead and put every team on the bubble in because I want to get this video out at a reasonable time to you guys, and if I didn't, the video probably wouldn't be out till 10 o'clock. So we just went ahead and put in every team that's on the bubble. So if there's a team in here that is not in March Madness, just go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. So first off, San Francisco, 22nd in the net, 4-6 in Quad 1, 21st in KenPom, 4-6, or 46th offense, 19th defense. That's a pretty good team out of the West Coast Conference. West Coast Conference, a little bit underrated this year, I feel like. They should definitely be in. Next up, we have Davidson, who is 38th in the net, 2-2 in Quad 1, currently playing in their championship game. They're down 4 right now, but it's early in the first half. So, I mean, they could probably be an automatic qualifier, but we just put them in here for now. 35th in the KenPom, the 10th offense, so they can shoot it with anybody. Of course, it's a Davidson team. Why wouldn't they be able to? But 163rd in defense. Next up, we got Indiana coming off of a really nice run in the Big Ten tournament. 39th in the net with a 4-8 Quad 1 record. They should be in with their run in the Big Ten tournament. 38th in KenPom with the 91st offense, 21st defense, knocking off Michigan. Everybody was saying that was the game they had to win to get in. Well, they went ahead and they won another game. So they should be pretty firmly in. Iowa State is another team that probably should be in. 49th in the net, 9-8 in Quad 1. It's just the Quad 2 losses that are killing them. But they have a winning record. They've played 17 games in Quad 1, have a winning record. It's really good. 48th in KenPom. They can't score the ball, really, but they are great at defense. 10th defense, terrible offense. That's basically sums up this Iowa State team. That's why they couldn't really win those other games. Next up, we have Miami, who also should be in, coming off of a decent run in the ACC tournament. Got a couple quality wins this year. 62nd in the net, though, 4-3 in Quad 1. They've got some other losses in other quadrants that kind of hurt them. 62nd in KenPom, really, really good offense. 17th in the nation, 166th defense, so that really kills them. So yeah, Miami, they should be in. Michigan is a team that I don't think should be in. They just lost to Indiana. That game should be one where the winner gets in, the loser's out. But they're 34th in the net somehow with a 5-10 Quad 1 record. Yeah, not great whatsoever. KenPom, they're 33rd, 20th offense, 89th defense. They were almost better with Phil Martelli coaching instead of Juwan Howard. He comes back and they lose their first game back. Oh yeah, Michigan's been a roller coaster, a train wreck all year. Notre Dame, next up, should be in, I think, 53rd. I mean, you win 25 games almost, you should be in. 2-8 in Quad 1, though, that does not help you at all. 52nd in KenPom, 30th offense, 83rd defense for the Fighting Irish. And then Oklahoma, a team here that, I don't know. I don't think they should be in. 40th in the net, 4-12 in Quad 1. They don't need to be in. They probably needed to win one more game in the Big 12 tournament. They couldn't do it. So unfortunately, as much as I like Porter Moser, as their 30th in KenPom, 49th offense, 33rd defense, as much as I love Porter Moser, don't think his Oklahoma Sooners team is going to be in year one. Now, Rutgers. Rutgers is a team that I think should be in. 77th in the net, 6-6 in Quad 1. They do have some concerning losses in the other quadrants. But in the KenPom, they are 74th, 108th offense, 43rd defense. Ron Harper Jr. and company, they were one of the hottest teams a few weeks ago. Have cooled off a little bit. They went on an insane run where they beat like 5 ranked teams in a row in the Big Ten. It looked like they might win the whole dang thing, but they didn't end up winning the tournament. We've got SMU here, 44th in the net, 2-2 in quad one. They should have beat Memphis last night. They didn't. Or if they wanted to get in, I thought Memphis should win the game. If they wanted to get in, they should have beat Memphis. 54th in the Ken Palm, 56th offense, 59th defense. They didn't beat Memphis, so unfortunately, I think they will be out right now. They're projected first four out. Wyoming, 50th in the net, 4-5 in quad one. Another Mountain West team playing non-quad one games. That's actually pretty good for a Mountain West team. 58th in the Ken Palm, 54th offense, 66th the defense. Wow, I'm really eating my words when I said that all the Mountain West teams are really good at defense. But Wyoming, I think they're in. Xavier's a team that I think is out. I don't think they're going to make it in. 41st in the net, 5-8 in quad one. They do have a pretty good quad one record, but it's the other quadrants that show a little bit of concern. 60th in Ken Palm, 41st offense, 78th defense. Yeah, not the biggest fan of this Xavier team. Don't really like the Big East that much either. Texas A&M, this morning they were one of the hottest teams in basketball. Then they forgot to wake up. Right now they're down 16-2 to Tennessee, but they should be in. 42nd in the net, 4-9 in quad one, 42nd in the Ken Palm, 67th offense, 37th defense. I think they'll probably be like the last team in. It would be nice if they could win today to just be an automatic qualifier, but I don't know if that's going to happen. They're getting whooped right now. Next up is Wake, who I think played their way out of it in the ACC tournament. 1-4 in quad one. Just couldn't get any good solid wins. Only played 5 games though. 37th in the Ken Palm, 34th offense, 58th defense. They played their way out in the Boston College game. Now, as I mentioned, I have a youth service tonight, so I will not be able to watch the selections show. And a team that just stole a bid, Yale, just knocked off Princeton, so we got to talk about them. I had the whole thing pre-recorded, ready to go. But hey, we got to talk about Yale now. 147th in the net, 1-4 in quad one after that win against Princeton, and coming in red hot. 149th in the Ken Palm, 198th offense, 115th defense. Not too great. I mean, definitely a team that maybe could upset a team. They got some experience as an upset team, but I'm not too high on Yale. The final bid stealer, Richmond, just beat Davidson in the A10 tournament final. They are 82nd in the net, 0-2 in quad one. Of course, I got Jacob Gilliard, who is a baller. 85th in the Ken Palm, 66th offense, 117th defense. So, I mean, if they run into a terrible defensive team, it's a shootout. They got a chance, but other than that, don't really like the Spiders too much. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you're a legend. Make sure to like button and subscribe button. Also, leave me a comment down below who your pick is to win it all. Make sure to come back later. We'll have more March Madness content out. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.